Hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. And in today's video, I'm giving you guys another review nobody asked for type of video. And we're going to be finally sharing my review of the Simply Posh Cosmetics Citrus Punch palette. This is a really fun palette. Came out in the summer and here I am in the winter finally reviewing it. But I have been having a lot of fun. Again, I forget how many looks I created with this palette. So I will go ahead and throw them up kind of like I did in the previous video where I show you guys all the looks that I created with this. I want to say I was at least 5 or 6, but last time I did this, my guesstimation was way off. I think I said like 6 and I had like 11 of them. Anyway, I'll throw them up on the screen so you guys can see all the different looks that I created with this, and I want to use it one more time as we talk about my thoughts on this palette, and just I get to use it one more time, create another look, and share my review with you guys. It's a really fun summer palette, great for the summertime. I like these type of colors in the wintertime though, so I don't mind trying it out and wearing it in the winter. I like colorful eyeshadows all year long. I'm not like that type to get very, what's that called, seasonal with my makeup. I just like to play and do all the things all the time. So anyway, we're going to be diving into this. I have no idea what I'm going to do. You would think that that's something I would have like thought of before diving into this video, but no, per usual, I did not think that far ahead. If you are new to my channel, my videos tend to be very unedited. Every now and then I'll edit little like fun kind of close-ups or whatnot, where I kind of bring the video or bring the screen in, bring it out, or something fun like that. But as far as like editing out pauses, editing out mistakes, editing out silence in the videos if I'm doing something, I'm not doing that anymore. I try to keep it flowing well. Not to say that my videos are full of silence, but I don't heavily edit my videos, I should say that. For the most part, they are largely unedited, especially as I get into the tutorial. But in the beginning, when I'm doing it, it's very hard for me to resist not editing it just a little bit. Anyway, rabbit trail, so sorry. All that to say, I don't edit my videos. We're gonna make this up on the fly because I don't want to sit here for 5 minutes looking at this palette, figuring out what we're going to do today, because I got things to do. So I'm just gonna go one color at a time. We'll see what happens. I kind of want to do a colorful eye look. I mean, I feel like any color or any look you do with this is got to be pretty colorful, unless you just stick to one row and just do a monochromatic type of one color eye look. But I think I want to try to use 3 colors throughout my crease, and then I'll figure out what we put on the lid later. But for the crease, how about we stick, I love the orange and the greens in here. I feel like I've done so many looks with that, but you guys know that's what I love. So I feel like, do I need excuses to actually to use them? So I think that's what I'm going to stick to. I'll do like the orange, and maybe I'll go this more brighter orange, or you could even go more bold, like neon type of orange. This has got more, what, grunge to it? I forget. They're very similar, but in person I can definitely see a difference. Anyway, maybe I'll do orange on the inner, green on the outer, and then maybe the yellow to connect the two in the middle. That could be fun. Or I could do yellow, orange, and do this purple on the outer corner. But here I am pulling in a purple, and I said I want to do green. I'm going to do green. I got a green shirt on. We're going to go with green. So I'm going to start on the outer corner. And if you are new to my channel, I tend to go all over the place in my decisions as I'm creating an eye look. So I'm tapping into lime, and we're going to pop this on. And this is such a bright, beautiful color. Let me make sure I am in focus. So sorry. This is a really bright, pretty color. It is not very deep. I feel like Simply Posh, one of the things I love about them is their dark colors are like beautifully dark. If you like Blend Bunny Cosmetics and how dark she can go with her deep tones, that's kind of like what Simply Posh reminded me of with a lot of their other palettes. This palette, however, is the exception. Their darkest shades in this palette I would consider mid-tone. I mean, maybe if you like this type of dark, this is all this is exactly what you want. But for me, I like really deep dark outer corners, and for me personally, I see this and I see a mid-tone color. So something to keep in mind. But for it being a mid-tone color, it's beautifully pigmented, and I obviously tap when I can remember, but I don't see a ton of fallout. I like that about their eyeshadows. They're not crazy like powdery and messy when you're putting them on, but they're just beautifully pigmented and very smooth and easy to work with. I do like their shadows. They've already come out with a new palette since I got this. I'm so late. Oh wait, no, this one I got in the summer. They also came out with a winter palette, and I want to say they also unveiled a like Christmas themed palette that I have not picked up yet. So I'm just behind on all the things, but I really do like Simply Posh Cosmetics, and this one is such a fun palette. I feel like if I paired this with a couple really dark shades to like complement all these colors, I would have such a blast. And it'd be like a one and done type of palette, because it's just missing the insane, I guess you could say, you know, not to be dramatic, but the intense depth that I like on my outer corner. I can't get it with this palette, because even if I do go into that purple, it'll do a good job, and they do layer nicely. I'll go ahead and show you guys just on the outer edge, but I just like it to be a dark green without having to kind of mess with this, because while it will get it nice and dark, I feel like it's a little bit brownish or like muddying back there. It just takes a little bit of sandwiching, so take that for what it is. Maybe I'm just being dramatic, but I would have loved to see, or you know, for me to really love this palette, I feel like I would want to have at least a black to kind of go along with it, because I feel like a black would just elevate these looks so much. But if I do that, they layer nicely. Not to say that, you know, there's any kind of funny business where some shadows can like start to bald off and stuff, you know, when you layer them. These layer together nicely. I'm going back on with green just to kind of not hide it, but like sandwich it in there to bring back the greenness that I'm going for. They layer nicely, so I am thankful for that, but I don't know, I just feel like I miss a black in there. But it can work if you like it to go a bit darker. Obviously, putting that purple there definitely brought it a couple shades darker, which I've been saying like a broken record, I like. So anyway, I got a little too dark up here, but oh well. We'll keep it going. I'll use the lighter tone to work on blending it out. Speaking of the lighter color green in here, it's called Citrus. It is beautiful. It's like a neon, dusty type of neon green. It's beautiful, but it is incredibly light compared to the other green it's paired with. So it takes a little bit of, you know, back and forth between these two colors to get a harmonious type of blend between such drastically different colors, especially if you're like me and deepen up your green even more. So yeah, like I said, I mean, their palette's already big enough as it is, and I mean, I guess I could have taken out a row to add some dark shades, but I like how they lay out their colors. So I don't know, I feel like if you have this palette, or if you have other palettes from Simply Posh Cosmetics that you can bring in for those like really dark tones, or even like a mid-tone green in here, and then you wanted to get this palette, I feel like you'd really enjoy it. But for me, like all by itself, I don't think this is like, for all by itself, one palette, like I'm not going to go into any others, for a bright neon, summery, colorful type of palette, I feel like it's not, it's got those little faults that I'm going over, so it's not like the one for me. But as a complement, bright colored, colorful, I said colorful already, Katie. Anyway, bright, rainbow, summertime palette as a companion, if you have something else, I think you will absolutely love. So like I said, if you already have a couple of Simply Posh Cosmetics, or even a Blend Bunny palette, you know, to make up those areas that I feel like this just has me wishing I had a little bit more, I think you'll absolutely love the palette, because the quality is fantastic. And again, this is for me and my preferences, I should clarify. Like, this is what I like and how I create eye look. So maybe you're totally opposite to me and you tend to only use like one shade anyway when blending out a color, then maybe you like this. But for me, I tend to use at least 3 colors to blend out a color and get that like seamless blend that I like. So that's why I really do miss having kind of this in-between shade right here. So I'm just gonna go back with that darkest green. Probably not the best brush for it because it's a little pointy, but we'll make it work. And just kind of keep going back and forth until I like how it looks. I feel like that's what I always say. Just keep going until I feel like it's a good blend, and then I'll probably go 1 or 2 more passes with that lightest green, and we'll be good to go for the green outer corner. It's a little bit powdery, the pastels. When I'm tapping into them, I don't think you'll see just because of the lighting and whatnot, but there's a good bit of little powder puff in the pan. It's nothing insane. I don't really notice any on my face, so it's not a huge deal. Like, that's for me. If it's not making my face dirty, I can be a little forgiving, but just something to keep in mind if you don't like super powdery type of shadows. This can be. I don't really notice it with the dark colors, so maybe it's just with the lighter colors because they are that like pastel neon. Again, that's not their, I don't know if that's their official description of the lighter tones. That's just how I see them and describe them as. So anyway, I'm just touching up that one spot, but like I said, I wish there was like an in-between green too, because I feel like I could just pass over this a couple times with an in-between green between those two colors, and I'd have it really nice and fast. As it is, I'm taking this and tapping into both the greens, the lightest and the darkest, and just kind of playing with it until I see that line disappear, because I don't want there to be a harsh line. But it's pretty much there. Maybe I'm just being too picky today. I feel like that looks pretty good. And I'm going to go back over once more with the lightest. There we go. You have to let me know if you picked this palette up, because it is an older palette. I'm sure everyone who is wanting to get it has probably picked it up, but if you haven't, let me know if you're just not planning to get it or you've just been waiting. And then if you have it, let me know what color column is your favorite. Okay, now I'm going to go in the inner corner, and I said I was going to do, oh gosh, what did I say I was going to do? I think I was going to do orange, and then I'll put yellow kind of like right here, which the green kind of overtook things. That's okay, we'll make it work. I'm going to go into Clementine. I just like this orange. It's such a pretty orange. And we're going to keep this really tight to the inner part here, because I want to be able to fit them both. Now, like I said, the oranges, the two matte orange, they're different, but they are close. And I'll go ahead and use both of them in this look today, just so you guys can see. I think if you're like very nuanced, you could use one or the other, and depending on the look you're going for, the different tones will complement the color story you're going for more. Like I was saying, this is more of a, what's that color, like orangey pink. It's got a little, like a pinky vibe to it, or like a neon vibe, whereas the Clementine, what I'm using, is more of a grungy orange. I'm terrible at describing things today, I'm so sorry. But anyway, but all that to say, like, I think that you will see the difference depending on the type of look. Like this color, Clementine, here's a good way to explain it. Clementine, I think, looks amazing and matches well when you pair it with the yellows and the greens. Then the other orange, which is orange, the orange, I think pairs and complements most when you use the pinks and the purples. So like if you used either or, like if you swap them, it would still be fine because it's an orange, but I feel like using those the different color oranges with the different color tones that I said, the pinks and the purples or reds and the greens and yellows, I just feel like it really makes it pop. All that to say, when you use them together, I'm going to go ahead and go into that darker orange, even though it's not darker, and put it right. We're going to keep it right down here to see if we can see a difference. But when you use them together, it's very, very subtle. Like I can see because I'm in person, but I don't know if you'll see. There's just a little bit more, there's a hint of neon to it, I would describe it, which honestly makes me feel like they should have swapped these two colors, because I feel like up here is very neon, oops, and down here is more like the dark grunge, so I feel like this color belongs up here, and this one's more grungy, belongs down there. Anyway, there is a difference, but it is very subtle, and like I said, I don't know, let me bring it down, maybe that'll help you guys see it a little bit better, the difference, because you can see a difference, it's just so subtle. It's one of those where it's like, I do wish they would have went a little darker with one of them, just so that you could do like an all orange look, kind of like you could do an all green look. I don't know. I mean, I guess you still could, but it's just the difference would be subtle. Am I a broken record yet? I feel like I am. I'm going to go back into Clementine and touch up. You'll have to let me know, please, if you're watching this. Let me know if you can actually see the differences that I'm talking about. Like, I see it, but maybe it's just because, again, I'm in person or I'm just going crazy. But I could definitely see why some people would say it's kind of like so subtle, it's repetitive type of thing. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the oranges. They're both beautifully pigmented, but they're just super duper close. So it's a little bit like, I wish there was a little bit more difference there. Okay, let me find another small blending brush, what I'm always looking for. Singe, this is going to work. The Singe E05. This is a phenomenal brush. We're gonna go into powdery. I'm gonna go into lemon, just a little bit down here, and then I'm going to tap into fizz to go on top because I love the neon pastel of that fizz. So going into lemon because it's got the depth, and or not even depth, this is a bright yellow, but has a little bit more intensity and I don't know, grunge factor that I feel like I need to ground this section. Could be totally making that up. I'm doing a lot of tapping motions because this is a big fluffy brush. It's going to want to be more diffused, but I don't want it to be diffused, and I don't want to use two brushes, or I don't want to get two brushes dirty, so that's why I'm trying to do this. But anyway, I'm going to tap it on, and once we got it tapped on, I'll just start to blend side to side. And it should be, color story wise, color wheel wise, this should be a very good blend between the two. Pretty easy. Like that. So let me catch this side up. The yellows, again, are similar to what I was saying about the orange, but not so much because I feel like they're very different. The next yellow that we'll use is very much a super light pastel, like so light pastel yellow. But I do appreciate that it's pretty like a bright light pastel yellow. It's definitely not, I don't know. We'll see it in a minute. I don't know if it's neon because it is so yellow. It could also be my skin tone, why it doesn't pop as like neon green, like the green does, but I definitely think it's pretty. So I'm gonna clean off my brush super quick because it's a yellow. I don't need it that clean. I'm gonna load up with some fizz, tap it off, and we're gonna put it right up here. And just start going back and forth to make this color pop. It's really pretty. It's definitely a color I don't know how much you'll be able to see on camera because my skin tone tends to be more on that yellow golden side anyway. And this is such a light yellow, but in person, when I complete the look, I can see it. So I like that because there are definitely some pastel yellows that I blended in and I'm like, where'd it go? I can't see it on my skin tone. But this one, I do like that I can definitely see it. Again, that subtle difference, I don't know if you'll be able to see between the light yellow and then the dark yellow. They're very close as well, but still pretty. Just depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, that's pretty much the mattes. I think they all blended really nicely together. I just wish, like I said, as a companion palette, I feel like I would get a lot of fun looks with this because I could bring in those kind of mid-tone or deep colors in this color story that Simply Posh created and really complete the look, and like I wouldn't have to fiddle so much to get the greens to harmonize, and it could also be me. Let me just be very clear. This could be my error and that I'm not very good at blending as to why it's taking me a little longer to get the type of blend that I like, but it's just one of those facts. I feel like if I have enough colors, kind of ombre of colors, I can get a really nice seamless blend, which is what I like to go for. So with this palette, why it's a phenomenal type of color story. Is so much fun, especially for summer, and just fun looks in general. It is a little lacking in me being able to create quick and easy looks because it takes a little bit longer. But I will say with that, oh, got caught in my hair. With that, like I'm finished up. I think I got maybe 1 or 2 specks, and that is all as for fallout, which is great, and nothing's like sticking, which is great because nothing worse than finishing your makeup and you got like streaks going on or just a bunch of glitter. All right, now the hard part. What am I gonna put on my lid? Their shimmers are pretty, but because they have those very like soft, see-through, iridescent type of shimmers, the colors, there's not a whole lot of pigment to the color, honestly, for me personally, and this could come from someone who's not really big into that iridescent see-through type of shimmer. They all look the same. Or not the same, but so close it's kind of like, use one or the other. So I do kind of miss having the intensity of the colors because I know Simply Posh Cosmetics can do that. But if you like iridescent and super sparkly, this will give it to you for sure because the sparkle in this palette is incredible. Alright, I just put a little bit of glitter primer from NYX down, and now we can figure out what we're going to use. I feel like, should I just kind of do orange and green? Would that be boring? Should I do a swappy? Should I swap the colors? I could do green on the inner half, and then I could do orange on the outer half. So tropical is the orange in here, and then sour is the green. So here they are. So it's more of a pink because I forgot. Here I am not explaining everything. They're like a multi-chrome / duochrome. I'm terrible at telling the difference. I've been told if it has more than one or more than two, it's multi. If it only has two, it's duo. I can see multiple colors in here as far as like the shift of the colors. Maybe there's only two, but as it shifts, I feel like I see more. I don't know. Anyway, they're beautiful regardless of what they are. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll put green on the inner half, and then we'll put tropical on the latter half. And then there's also tangerine. This is a really pretty, it's for the oranges, but it's not orange. I see more pink. And then tangy is with the yellows. Yeah, yellows. And it's got beautiful green. We'll use that for my inner corner. I love that color. My hands are dirty. Let me clean it. So let's talk about the shimmers as I put them on. They are a firmly pressed, is it what I call it? What? No, it's not really super, maybe subtle Super Shock, but incredibly firmly pressed Super Shock type formula, if you want to call it the Super Shock formula. So it's, I'm going to do green first, which is sour. So it takes a little bit of work to collect on your brush. I like to use a flat brush. If I used a sponge tip applicator, it does work better, or your finger. It'll go a lot faster. So if you're someone who likes that kind of, you know, just smear it, you know, put it on your finger and then smear it all over your lid, you'll probably like it a lot more. If you like precision, which is why I like to use my my brush, it's gonna take a while. So here, I loaded it up and I'm putting it on, and I'll show you how it looks. It's pretty. I think it's definitely very, very pretty. It's got a lot of, you know, I feel like it just looks like my lid color because it's that see-through multi-chrome aspect to it, but it's definitely very pretty. I'll load it up one more time and then I'm going to show you how it is with my finger, just to show you guys the difference. So let me put it on. I like to keep a nice clean line up here, so that's why I prefer a brush. But while it's like super pretty, there's just a softness to it that once you see me use my finger, it's going to be like, oh wow, your finger's got so much more impact. So here's how it looks. Let me make sure. It's been a minute since I've focused my camera. So here is what it looks like. It's really pretty, not to say it's not. But if I use my finger or a sponge tip applicator, which I can't find, here it is with just the brush, and then now we're going to tap it over on my paint stained finger. And I'm going to tap it over with a finger. And there it is. I feel like it's more impactful and almost looks more like pigmented with the color than with a brush. With the brush, I feel like it's a very superficial color, very translucent, iridescent. I can see my skin through it underneath, but with a finger, I feel like it gives a lot more full coverage to the shadow. And also it's a lot easier to pick it up with your finger. So they're Simply Posh Cosmetics shimmers as a whole, I haven't loved all of them, but they all are beautiful, if that makes sense. Like, you know, they're not easy. They're not the easiest to work with. They can be a pain to put on if you're like me and a stickler for wanting it to all be nice and nice cut to it. But they are beautiful. Let me see if I can do this. Oh gosh, why am I like that? Let's see. I don't know why I'm trying to do it like this, but I am. That's actually easier than trying to twist the other way. Man, this multi-chrome is so pretty, the shift. It's so strong, I can see it. I can see the pink up here and then the green on my lid. Anyway, I got crazy up in there. What am I doing? Anyway, so they're really pretty. But I think that best sums up kind of like my thoughts on this palette. You know, once again, it's not my favorite type of formula to wear or like really work with. However, they're beautiful, and anytime I created a look with this palette, I had no problem using the shimmers with it. Now, would I also probably, if I wanted to use this, like if I wanted to use just this palette for a month, would I want to bring in other shimmers? Probably, just because, you know, you get tired of, you know, having to, you know, be careful with a palette, or, you know, really work for a palette. Or for me, I just get tired of having such a light color on my lid. I like more color and impact. So yeah, I would probably reach for, I'm going to go into this one. I'd probably reach for other shimmers, but for all the looks I did with it, I was super happy to, you know, dive in and grab these shimmers. So let's pop this one on. This is Tropical. Oh wait, did I say Tropical? Yeah, I think I did when I first did it, because I was like, oh, that's the orange, but it's actually in the pink row. I don't know where my brain was when I said Tropical, but we'll go ahead and stick to it because I thought it looked neat. So, oh well. Anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, they're nice. They're nice shimmers. They look really pretty. If you like those very soft, I'm gonna go in with my finger now. If you really do like that type of iridescent look to the lid color with a lot of sparkle, there's so much sparkle with these. They're beautiful. They're very dainty looking because they have that iridescent aspect to them. They're very soft and sparkly, and if you're someone who likes to do like one color maybe in the lid, or in the crease, and then one color all over your lid and do a soft, effortless look like that, these would be really pretty because they're just so beautiful. Or I bet even if you wanted to do like no mattes, just a color all over, a shimmer all over your lid, like I feel like this would also be really pretty because it's just so sparkly and beautiful and effortless and like angelic looking. I feel like that's the word I always think of. It's just all so dainty and beautiful. So I just made a mess up in my crease with that. Whoops. But I'm going to take a brush now and kind of carve out what I can. And I think it's pretty. I feel like you can't really see a difference between the pink And the yellow, you'll have to tell me if you can. But it's so subtle, and again, these shimmers are so light. Again, like I was saying, it's kind of one of those palettes where it's like, oh, just pick whichever shimmer you want. You could close your eyes and pick, because they're so light. Anyone is going to look good and kind of remind you of the others. I don't think they're that crazy different in their coloring. I'm just taking the green now and going over the outer edge like that. So anyway, this is pretty much going to be the look and my thoughts on this palette. Oh, I didn't tell you longevity for shimmers. So sorry, I did not have any experience with creasing. It does make a mess. Now I have shimmer flaky bits all over my face. So if you're someone who doesn't like that, or at least doesn't want to start your day like that, definitely do your eyes first. But I didn't notice any heavy creasing. Now I have noticed them start to wear away throughout the day, and it's more of just, you know, at the end of the day when I look, I can tell, like, I see through my skin a lot more. There's not as much intensity to the color, but the sparkle's still there, if that makes sense. So it definitely wears away. I think the primer helps for sure it not crease away and like leave weird creases, because I think the primer helps kind of hold it and stick it to the skin better. But still, even with that, I have deep set, more hooded eyes. They're not incredibly hooded, but they definitely do a lot of touching on the outer corners because they're so deep set. So just having that throughout the day, by the end of the day, they're very light. Now they still are very sparkly and they're still there, but it's definitely a lot more subdued than it was at the beginning of the day. But that's really all I ever noticed when it came to wearing away of this shadow. I kind of want to, let me go ahead and just do that. I'm going to take a flat brush, but I need a flat, yeah, this, what is this called? Angled brush. I'm going to take that green, the dark green, which is lime, and I'm just going to go along here real quick, and that's what we're going to do for my liner today. And then I also need to take this on the lower lash line, I forgot. But yeah, so, you know, not the most full, like, stubborn, best foolproof, I don't even know what to say to describe it, but not the best staying time for someone. I should clarify, I have oily eyelids and I am sweating a lot. I'm outside a lot. I'm in Florida right now, and even though it's December 25th, I'm filming this on Christmas Day, it's like 70 degrees outside. It's the warmest it's been in a couple weeks. I don't know what happened. We had a big rainstorm come through and it's warm out, like shorts and shirt and sandals weather here in Florida. So anyway, the humidity with all that shifting around is through the roof right now. So keep that in mind when I'm talking about the how things wear on me, because I'm sure every person is going to be different. Maybe if you have more dry lids or live in a drier climate, or don't have like to have to worry about like super hooded eyes, or don't care about like the messy look of it, you know, spreading, or don't mind that it fades and lightens throughout the day, that'll definitely influence if that's a con for you or not. For me, like I said, I don't really mind it. I don't know, I'm not someone who like it has to stay looking exactly the same at the end of the day, or I give it a fail. As long as it's not looking crazy. That's my one stipulation. As long as it doesn't make me look like I'm, you know, I don't know, I got caught in a rainstorm and I got makeup dripping down my face, I'm pretty happy. It just kind of needs to look put together. Can be faded, but still put together. So now we have to go into the, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm moving on to the inner corner. I need to finish the lower lash line. Let's go ahead and take that green down here. And I want to do the yellow. Let's do really hard on the yellow instead of the orange for the lower lash line. I just really like that, those yellows in there. So I'm just gonna go like that on either side. If you pick this up, I think I already said, I'm so sorry if I repeat myself. Sometimes I can't remember if I just said it in my head or if I said it out loud, but I'd love to know if you picked up this palette. Oh yeah, I did. I asked, what's your favorite column? Never mind. You'd think I'd remember. It was only like 5 to 10 minutes ago. Oh, I just gotta turn my card. It's about to shut off. Be right back. Haha, I caught it. Usually it turns off on me and then I look up and realize it hadn't been recording. But I saw that I was about to get shut off on. All right, I'm gonna go right into Fizz, which is the lightest of the yellows, and I'm going to take it on the tip of this singe brush and go ham. And then I'll probably take a little bit more of that green on the outer edge here in just a minute. I feel like my skin tone also plays a factor in like how intense these pastels are, especially like this fizz, because I feel like it's looking a little bit deep. But if you look up here where I used a white concealer or like eyeshadow primer, I feel like it looks a little brighter, but down here it's a set and like my color concealer, and I feel like it looks a lot deeper. And I just think that's interesting to see the difference and how whatever undertone or whatever undertones you put it on top of can play a factor in how it the color appears. So it's definitely a little bit darker, or like more of a grunge yellow than like the super pastel yellow, but I'm just taking more of that green, or lightest green I should say, the citrus, and I'm going to blend that out. And then I'm going to go back into that first brush I used. It's kind of like a blending brush but with a point. The line like really helped me put it on the line, but it definitely didn't do me any favors on applying it nice and diffuse, because there's just like a line and I don't want that line. So I'm going to use this brush to blend it out. And then we're going to put on inner corner eyeliner, or inner corner highlight, and I'm going to use that lightest yellow shimmer. Tangy. Such a pretty, watch this. This is one of my favorites in there too. I only have this flat liner brush, so not the best for applying inner corner, but we'll make it work. And I hope you guys can see. Again, they're so light. Nah, this brush, I need a sponge tip applicator, but I don't have one, so I'm going to use my finger. I don't like using my finger for inner corner because there's no precision for me, and I like some precision, especially on my inner corner, but I need to show you guys how intense this can look. How's that look? Can you guys see that? I hope you can. It's so pretty. One of my favorite, but this is definitely, I feel like, the least pigmented, so it's the most like easy to miss, I feel like, especially on camera. It's just so subtle, but there's so many sparkly shifts happening on the inner corner. It's beautiful. I like it. There we go. Probably way too messy now, but oh well. I'm gonna go in with, where's the orange? I think I use this for my orange. I'm gonna blend it out and just touch right here because I feel like I can see a line and I want it a little bit more to diffuse, but I'm just nitpicking here. The look is pretty much done. My overall review, let me put this back up because I feel like I'm super dark now. My overall review on this palette is that I really do like it. It's a great companion, colorful, vibrant type of rainbow palette that I would enjoy in the summer. Is it like my one and done? Like I said, not really. And can I speak? I'm tripping over my words. I need to just pause. And like I said, not my favorite shimmers, but as far as just using it and enjoying it, I really did like it. It's a fantastic little palette that was a lot of fun. But overall, ultimately, with any review that I do, it's up to you if you think that that's something you would like. But quality-wise, I think the mattes are lovely. I really do like the pigment that and the pigmentation and the ease of use that Simply Posh Cosmetics has in their mattes. They're lovely, and the shimmers are very pretty if you like this type of shimmer. So anyway, I think that's going to do it for this video. Let me know if you picked this palette up. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in my next video whenever that is. I have no schedule right now. Whenever I have time to film, I'm going to film. Whenever I have time to upload, I'm going to upload. So maybe you get 1 video a week some weeks. Maybe you get 3 videos a week other weeks. It just all depends, but I'm going to do what I can. And I hope you guys enjoy. And I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye, guys.